Hello, and welcome to Everything Reviewed with James Canoop. I'm James Canoop, and today we have a special Christmas episode of our show, Everything Reviewed with James Canoop. I'm James Canoop. And what we are going to do today is very special. Wait for it. Oh, actually, before I get to that, I want to talk a little bit about this, my coffee that I'm drinking. Delicious. In our very first episode of Everything Reviewed with James Canoop, I'm James Canoop, we reviewed coffee, White House coffee, like they made it back in the olden days. So if you want to watch that video, you can just push the link right here. If nothing appears right here, it's because I don't know how to do that. But if you go to my channel and click like the home page or something, you might be able to find it. Ugh, that is so good. Also, that's not really the White House coffee, that's just a French press I made, because I did not have time to make the other one. Okay, without further waiting or ado, today's Everything Reviewed is the Nutcracker. You may have heard of one of these before. Perhaps you have one in your house, or you saw the play about, where the people are dancing and there's a mouse king and a nutcracker. I don't remember what that play is called. Maybe it's just the Nutcracker. You may have also heard of nutcrackers in Christmas songs. Chestnuts roasting by the Nutcracker, something like that, I think. But this is what it is, and it's a very, very famous, is this not the right word? Typical things that you might see around Christmas time. And maybe you do not have one and you are thinking, should I get a Nutcracker? That's a good question, and I'm glad you found my channel. This particular Nutcracker, if you're looking for this one, does not have any specific markings on it to distinguish it. So I don't know where we got it or what brand it is. But if you take a quick, maybe a screenshot, and then you can use artificial intelligence on your phone to maybe find out where this one comes. Or maybe this was handmade and it is unique. I do not know. But this is a Nutcracker, and I think most of them are really similar, so it probably doesn't matter. This one has a lever on the back that opens his mouth. So there's a lever and the mouth. But I am getting ahead of myself. I want to review two things about the Nutcracker today. The style of this particular Nutcracker, which if you get a different one won't really be applicable to you, but if you find this one will be very applicable because it will be the same one. So style, and then also functionality, and I'm very excited about that part of the video. So style first. As far as like authenticity, I don't know if there is a specific kind of Nutcracker that is standard across like industry practices. This Nutcracker has a few things you might notice. It has a green drum, which is my favorite color, so I like that part. He cannot actually drum on the drums, his arms don't move. I don't think that really matters because that's not the part that cracks the nuts. So I think that's okay. He's got like these yellow pants, red, black and red head, which is very Christmassy, which I suppose is a good thing. His teeth and eyes are a little freaky, which at first you're like, Christmas, do I want freaky things? But then I thought, I think the Nutcracker is supposed to be kind of freaky, I don't know. Otherwise, here's a small scratch on the handles. That's probably from me and not from the Nutcracker itself. So out of the style, I would give it like a 9 out of 10. The creepiness factor, even if it's supposed to be there, it just still creeps me out enough to duck 1 star. Okay, so far, so good. So, as you might know, this is called a Nutcracker, because I've said that many times already. So it's pretty obvious what it does, it cracks nuts. So I have a few nuts with me today. One of the nuts that I have are some Good and Gather sea salt dry roasted pistachio kernels. These are best by July of 2026, so they're still good. But we've had this big a while. These ones are already out of the shell, as you can see, which is nice because then you don't have to break the shell. But there's something about breaking the shell of a dry roasted pistachio that's very satisfying. But Well, I'm just curious if this nutcracker can crack a nut that's already been cracked. So, if you put it in the mouth here, good, and then you crack it. It worked! See? There was one piece, and now there are several pieces. So this can, if you have this one, it can crack a nut that does not have a shell on it. But what's probably much more interesting for you to know is if it can crack the pistachio with the shell still on it. So let's discover if it can do that. So same technique, and I'm gonna go sideways or vertically, maybe like this, and then I get ready to crack the nut. No. Okay, so I broke the nutcracker, the handle on it. So this particular nutcracker is not strong enough to crack the pistachio with the nut on it. It still works if I use my finger. It's just not as visually appealing with this. Okay, let's try something else. No more shells because it doesn't work. I have here a black walnut, and let's see how it treats the black walnut. It did not work. Now, I don't know if that's because my finger cannot apply the same type of pressure. So this is quite unfortunate for my review. Let's do one more thing just to mix things up, since this episode has already been so unpredictable. It's called a nutcracker, and typically we think it cracks nuts, right? But then I got to thinking, could the nutcracker crack a cracker? So what I have here are these wheat thins. If you've never had these before, they are made out of wheat, and they are quite thin, just like the title suggests. But they are too big for a nutcracker, so I've broken one up, and we are going to see if the nutcracker can crack a nut, using my finger only and not the actual lever. So, the cracker is stuck in the nutcracker. Shoot. Okay, now I'm just cracking it with my finger. It did not crack it, which is why it's stuck. Oh, there we go. Okay, it cracked, but that was just my finger. Okay, so I think we've discovered a lot about this today. It's not very durable if you're trying to crack nuts with shells on it. But if you have this and you want to crack a nut that has no shell on it, it's quite good. I just don't know how long it will last. I think after thinking and reviewing this, here's what I would say. Buy the nutcracker because it's nice to look at and it's very festive, but don't use it for cracking nuts or really anything else. It's not very good at that. At least not this one. Maybe you will find one that's actually for cracking nuts. Okay, that's all. I hope you've enjoyed this video, as you hopefully have enjoyed all the videos that I've made. Everything from reading a book by its cover, to White House coffee, to how to eat an Oreo, to toe socks. Lots of good things, so check my review page. Everything reviewed by James Canoop. I'm James Canoop. Thank you, and goodbye, and Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, if I do not see you before then. Okay, goodbye.